The What If BFB Never Split series has taken too long, so I've decided to do another What If. NeverButter's third What If. What if Pen used her win token in BFDI 6? Obviously, Pen will be eliminated. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 6. Power of 3. Pin replacing Pen will have a few changes, but not enough. The brown team still loses and Needle is eliminated. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 7. Puzzling Mysteries. There's a chance that Pen could notice that the puzzle is upside down before Pencil does, giving the cherries an easy win. But NeverButter decided that won't happen, so the grapes still win and Fiery switches over. But Leafy would decide on Pen, so Pen switches over instead. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 8. Cycle of Life. With Pen replacing Fiery, Ice Cube is safe, but the grapes still win anyway, added to the fact that Fire would accidentally burn Pencil. Pen still falls into the three-way tie for 4th place, so Blocky still rejoins. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 9. Insectophobe's Nightmare. Now it's time for the grapes to split. Leafy and Rocky of everyone still get to choose the teams. Obviously, instead of Ice Cube, Leafy chooses Pen. Rocky still chooses Tennis Ball. Next up, Leafy chooses Ice Cube. Tennis Ball still chooses Golf Ball, so things start to get forky. Then Leafy, Pen, and Ice Cube agree on Teardrop. Tennis Ball chooses Coiny. Looks like Blocky will be separated from Snowball. Pen decides on Snowball because things could get hairy if Blocky and Icy are teammates. This leaves Blocky to go to the names. Obviously, Snowball causes the grapes to lose. But Pen stops Snowball from tying them into a ball. This gives the grapes an advantage. With Fire and the cherries, the names have another advantage. The names press the button, alerting Bubble. And while the cherries pass up, Fire's acrophobia alerts the grapes. The grapes finish before the cherries do, so the cherries are up for elimination. The cherries just can't catch a break. The first contestant safe is Pencil, and then Bubble. So now it's down to Eraser, Match, and Fiery. Eraser just happened to be in the top 3, so Match and Fiery are ejected. Coiny obviously chooses Match. Rocky chooses Fiery. Blocky chooses Match because he's flammable and hates fire. According to Tennis Ball's and Golf Ball's calculations, Match would be a better asset to their team than Fiery. So the season's canon winner is eliminated. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 10. Crybaby. The crying contest is still decided a tie. The grapes still finish second. And finally, the names win again, so the cherries are up for elimination. Because there are 3 of you, only one person is safe. And that person just so happens to be Pencil. It is up to the names to decide who should stay or be eliminated. Match chooses Bubble and Blocky chooses Eraser. Golf Ball and Tennis Ball decide that since Bubble can pop easily, they choose Eraser. And Rocky chooses Bubble. If Coiny picks Eraser, Bubble will be eliminated. But no matter what, if Coiny chooses Bubble, it will end in a tie. Considering the relationships, Coiny chooses Eraser, so another finalist is eliminated. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 11. Lofty. Even though Pencil is the only cherry left, the teams are still kept. Now it's time for the balloon contest. Match decided that the grapes are a bigger threat than the cherries, since there's only one left. Pencil decides to knock a few people out. The first balloons popped are Pen, Match, Rocky, and Teardrop. Coiny still shatters Ice Cube. Pencil shoots at Golf Ball. Because Blocky used to do pranks on Bubble, Pencil shoots him. The grapes and names battle it out, with the victory for the grapes. However, Pencil defeats the grapes, so the cherries finally win, for the first time since Episode 2. What a crazy turn of events here. Golf Ball, Blocky, and Eraser, you each have a win token. Would you like to use it now? The first contestant safe is Tennis Ball, then Eraser, then Coiny, and finally Blocky. So now it's down to Rocky, Golf Ball, and Match. Golf Ball's win token saves her from elimination. The choice is very obvious. Match joins the Squishy Cherries. Rocky is eliminated. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 12. A leg up in the race. Everyone starts off at 30 points. Then each character gets points depending on how well they did in the last contest. And as well as that, no more win tokens. And for every vote each person got in any of the previous episodes, that's minus 1 point.
And there now go we shall see it.
It's either an alliance member or one of the balls going home. The first contestant safe is Tennis Ball, and Pencil is the next person safe, so now it's down to Match and Golf Ball. Here we have a deja vu moment. Remember BFDI 5A?
So now it's down to Match and Golf Ball.
It will be a tough voting battle, but eventually the last contestant safe is Match. Looks like her chances have dropped from 8.333 repeating percent to 0.000 repeating percent. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 13. Don't lose your marbles. First off, let's remove 10 points for everyone who got a maroon ball. Pencil still reaches first place, and Pen would likely steal one of Match's balls to get second place. Tennis Ball will likely finish at this point.
And therefore now go, we shall see its stake.
Ice Cube is the first one safe, and so is Tennis Ball, so now it's down to Match and Eraser. The last contestant safe is Match. At least it's before the scissors. Battle for Dream Island, episode 14. Half loaf is better than none. Even though there's probably a lot of changes on the rejoin contest, Spongy still rejoins. Now we can actually go to the contest.
And therefore now go, we shall see its stake.
Everything before this point was made around January or February, so I'm continuing this in July, even after I tried to continue this in March. Leafy is the first one safe though, and so is Coiny, so now it's down to Ice Cube and Match. Ice Cube is bland, but NeverButter didn't talk about Match. However, Ice Cube is the last one safe, so it seems like she has survived too many bottom twos, only to fall to the next. Battle for Dream Island, episode 15. Vomit Taco. Hey, I haven't seen the presence of Voop here. The 5 plushie petition has failed, so Voop's capturing business has started to fail, so Kelsey 1 is slowly starting to gain gadget power again to free his prison. The original plan was for me, Kelsey 3, Kelsey 4, Kelsey 5, and Seisha to gain enough gadget power to defeat Voop and save Kelsey 1. But at the time, we barely have any gadget power, since we used it up in 2022 and 2023. Anyways, carrying on with the contest, Coiny and Snowball would choose the Barf Bag contest, while Teardrop and Pin would join the Taco contest. Blocky, Coiny, and Snowball team up, while Pencil and Ice Cube would pair up. Anyways, there would be a lot of changes. Ice Cube would be shattered after 20 seconds by Blocky. Bowling Ball still springs a leak with the Barf Bag, and Pencil gets Blocky out at 30 seconds after using the pillow to clog it up. After this kind of unpredictable point, Snowball will be callous and throw kindly at Pencil. And after the pillow pops out of the Barf Bag, Snowball falls to his doom. The scores for Tennis Ball, Leafy, and Spongy will remain the same. Because of her baking skills, Pin gets 7 likes, so it's all down to Teardrop. Coiny and Ice Cube are in the danger zone. Either she or Leafy will join them. She needs at least 5 likes to surpass Leafy, and she nails it, right on the dot too. However, NeverButter gave her 70 points instead of 50, likely due to a bug. This means Leafy, Coiny, and Ice Cube are up for elimination.
And therefore now go, we shall see its stake.
Leafy is obviously the first one safe, so now it's down to Coiny and Ice Cube. Ice Cube is still interesting, and Coiny is not as popular as Leafy, but without any major flaws, Coiny is safe. Looks like Ice Cube will start cooling down the TLC before it gets even hot. Battle for Dream Island, episode 16. Bowling, now with explosions. Because Tennis Ball and Spongy are armless, they're disqualified. Anyways, Leafy knocked down 3 pins so she can remove 90 points.
I think it's pretty obvious what I want. Equality. 10 points off everyone.
Coiny bowled down 4 pins so he can remove 120 points. He goes through with Leafy's idea but has to stick with his friends, meaning 20 points off everyone else. Pencil and Teardrop both knocked down the same amount of pins at 5. But due to alphabetical order, Pencil goes first. She wants to go through with Leafy's idea, but she doesn't have anyone to stick up with. So she removes 50 points from Spongy. She would also remove 40 points from Blocky for being mean to Bubble. And since she doesn't like Pen, she removes 30 points from her. But instead of lowering 15 points from Coiny and Leafy, she removes 30 points from Spongy. Now it's Teardrop's turn. Snowball is too far ahead of everyone else, so Teardrop removes a whopping 100 points from him. And she would use the rest of her 25 points on Pin and Tennis Ball. Snowball bowled down 6 pins so he can remove 180 points. Well, he removes 50 points from Tennis Ball. And he also removes 40 points from Leafy and Teardrop for lowering his score. And then he also removes 20 points from Pin and Spongy. Blocky bowled down 7 pins so he can remove 210 points. Since there's no safe methods, he goes with Coiny's idea. 35 points on everyone else. And Pin bowled down the most pins at 8, so she can remove 240 points. Blocky, Coiny, and Pencil are so far ahead that Pin subtracts 80 points from Blocky, Coiny and 40 points from Pencil. And then she removes 40 points from Snowball. With no strike, there will be 2 scenarios. One is that Snowball, Tennis Ball, and Spongy will be up for elimination, and the other is that everyone is up for elimination except for Teardrop. The second scenario is chosen.
And therefore now go, we shall see its stake.
This is going to be quite a long one. The first contestant safe is Leafy, and so is Coiny, then Spongy, then Pencil, then Tennis Ball, and finally Pin. So now it's down to Blocky and Snowball. Blocky is a chaotic prankster, and Snowball is still mean. With all of this, the last contestant safe is Blocky. Snowball is eliminated just 3 episodes after in canon. Battle for Dream Island, episode 17. The reveal. Let's see how well each 4 teams will do in the Frisbee contest.
And there for now, go, we shall see it.
As you probably should know, the 5 people who weren't up for elimination will get to vote on the people who are up for elimination. Let's see their decision. By a 3-2 vote, Spongy is eliminated again. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 18. Reveal Novum. For one, David still joins the game, but the announcer also downloaded the scoreboard from TV to wood planks due to budget cuts. As such, it can now hold 2-digit numbers. Pin defeats Corny using foul play, and Blocky pranks Teardrop. David jumpscares Tennis Ball, and Pencil outlasts Leafy. Pin beats Blocky after a battle, and Pencil outlasts David. And finally, Pencil uses Pin's planning against her, and barely wins. Pencil is screwed over, but not much as in canon. So David, Corny, and Tennis Ball are up for elimination.
And there for now, go, we shall see it.
Tennis Ball is the first one safe, so now it's down to David and Coiny. Despite just rejoining, David is eliminated in a landslide. Sleepy was a good role model. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 19. Precision. Teardrop and Pin both have an equal chance of finishing first, but Pin wins immunity, and so does Teardrop, and Coiny is the last to win immunity. Because Pin finished first, she has to choose a 4th person to also win immunity. She values with her alliance with Leafy, so she chooses her.
The points are gone, we are free of them now, but we look on to the moment that we see the next slice of cake, a step closer to the prize brought on by Cake and Steak.
Tennis Ball is the first one safe, so now it's down to Blocky and Pencil. Blocky is seen as a jerk, and Pencil is a vote magnet. It is a close vote, but the last person safe is Blocky. From 0 to eliminated. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 20. Gardening Hero. NeverButter doesn't give a timeline when everyone died, but he announces that Tennis Ball will win immunity, just because he's the smartest contestant still alive, and he chooses Coiny.
The points are gone, we are free of them now, but we look on to the moment that we see the next slice of cake, a step closer to the prize brought on by Cake and Steak.
Looks like Pin and Blocky are tied at 5 votes, so we need a tiebreaker. It's a tough call, but the last person safe is Blocky. This actually might be shocking.
The points are gone, we are free of them now, but we look on to the moment that we see the next slice of cake, a step closer to the prize brought on by Cake and Steak.
Fiery Bubble and Rocky make it to the top 5. Needle is the first one with a boot. Rocky is also not rejoining. And Flower falls short of this rejoin again. So now it's down to Fiery and Bubble. This might be a toss-up, but rejoining the game is Fiery. So Fiery is rejoining the game. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 21. The Glistening. This is the part I've started working on after the Dark Ages started. Leafy easily wins the immunity.
The points are gone, we are free of them now, but we look on to the moment that we see the next slice of cake, a step closer to the prize brought on by Cake and Steak.
The first contestant safe is Tennis Ball, and so is Teardrop, and finally Fiery. So now it's out to Coiny and Blocky. Blocky is still a mean jerk, and Coiny is still a slapper. And with that, Coiny survives by a sizable margin. Looks like Blocky will be eliminated again. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 22. Don't pierce my flesh. The Fire speaker box not showing up makes it hard to do a beauty contest. And it might be possible, so Fire wins immunity. Fire also has to choose another person to win immunity, and it's Tennis Ball.
The points are gone, we are free of them now, but we look on to the moment that we see the next slice of cake, a step closer to the prize brought on by Cake and Steak.
Leafy is the first one safe, so now it's down to Teardrop and Coiny. This Bonatu happened 6 episodes before the canon episode, but that's beside the point. Teardrop's character might be getting stale, but she's the last person safe. As they say, old habits die hard. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 23. Hurtful. This might be close, but Teardrop wins the final immunity ticket, beating Leafy, Fiery, and Tennis Ball for elimination.
The points are gone, we are free of them now, but we look on to the moment that we see the next slice of cake, a step closer to the prize brought on by Cake and Steak.
The first contestant safe was Tennis Ball, so now it's on to Leafy and Fiery. Leafy is somewhat irritating, and Fiery is a rejoiner. This will be a close vote, but the last contestant safe is Leafy. Rejoiners never win. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 24. Insectophobe's Nightmare 2. Not much happens this episode. Battle for Dream Island, Episode 25. Return of the Hang Glider. By contestant vote, Leafy would win again from Flower, Pen, Pencil, David, Snowball, Ice Cube, Mech, Eraser, Bubble, Pen, Blocky, and Spongy. Woody Needle would vote Teardrop, and Rocky, Golf Ball, Coiny, and Fiery would vote Tennis Ball. Coming up in third place is Teardrop, so the winner is either Leafy or Tennis Ball. Teardrop would have to split votes with Leafy. Anyways, the winner of the season is Leafy. Leafy lets absolutely everyone off Dream Island, including Fiery. I've had this What If in the works for months, and it's finally finished. The next What If NeverButter made was What If Teardrop lost the first contest in BFB. So I'll see you guys either there or in part 3 of What If BFB Never Split. Stay tuned, everybody!